I would like to discuss the state of things in the musical world. Machine learned, AI generated musical content. Suno.ai is one of the big ones where
Big
you
one.
can basically put in a prompt and it will generate some kind of music based on whatever.
Mhm.
Are you pro Suno or not?
Well, I know a lot of people that have used it, that have just had a good time kind of entering in stuff,
Right.
and it's crazy. Like, it's crazy that you can enter in these minimal prompts and tell it what you
Yeah.
and what it gives you back is wild. It's cool that, like, people can have a good time with it. But for me, the process has always been the fun thing. Like that the hard decisions, the sweating over, does this belong? Does this not belong? Is this too long or whatever? And I've never made music that was like commercially, viable or successful or anything like that. It's always been a thing that I've done because enjoy doing the thing.
Right.
When you find a tool that's like, we do it all for you. It's like, well, what do I get out of this? Because that's the thing I enjoy about it. As far as like output goes, there are probably going to be some serious legal implications of like, boy, this sounds a lot like this, or that they're pulling a lot.
Sure.
But at the same time, I mean, if you wanted to do the straw man argument, you could be like, well, aren't we all just synthesizing influences that we have and all that stuff? And I predict there will be a day that I will hear a song that I like that is AI. And so I try not to make a hard stand on the output of it. Like output of AI, it's like I think there will probably come a day when I'll hear something and I will know that it's AI and I'll be like, you know what? I know it's AI, but that chorus, I really like how this does this
Right.
and all that stuff. And I'll just have to kind of be like, it is what it is, and I'm not gonna hate on it as a thing. So I don't want to be a luddite about it. At the same time, when it comes from the creation standpoint, I it's a little lost on me because I feel like that's the whole point is the
Right.
messy creation thing where you nine times out of 10 it sucks. And then every now and then you get one and you're like, I did that. That was fun. That was a good time. So yeah, I'm okay with it, and I'm okay with people doing what they want to do. I have never used it for that reason. It hasn't even called to me to pick it
Okay.
up. What do you think?
I think oh man, I wish I had like a really like hard stance where I was just like anybody who uses it needs to go and like eat a cold hamburger, you know?
Oof, yeah,
Um
cheesy.
I actually have used it quite a bit. Not because I'm a professional musician, but because, I was curious about it and I had a subscription to Suno for probably about 6, 7 months.
Yeah.
And, especially, like, for certain types of things, if you're already considering using, like, stock,
Yes.
if you're
Yes.
already using stock and you're already paying for stock,
Yes.
there's this. So is the me personally, I'd rather be supporting artist. I'd
Yeah.
rather be supporting somebody who sits down and records, music and puts it up for sale. And honestly, like, think about it. Even though that, this wasn't around when we were producing a lot of music back in the day, you
Yeah.
could do things like Fruity Loops, you could do,
Yeah.
you could have, like, Easy Drummer and things like that. You've had drum machines forever where you could just hit a
Yeah.
button and do it. I mean, there was always room for, like, bands like Prodigy who just, have, like, 8/8 backbeats going all day long or
Right.
808 samples just going all day long, and, you know, whenever that band tours, they're still gonna be hiring a drummer to go out there and do it. So,
Yeah.
there's always been room for, keyboards to have arpeggiators, and there's always
Sure.
been room for loops to go on, and, hip hop was built on 808 drum machines. So, we've always been using tools to get over not having enough skill
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, I'm a crap drummer, right? So I'll just have a drum machine. I press a button and I'd go and do it. So like we've always
Yeah.
been cutting corners. I mean, even like if you're looking at instruments like the auto harp or the omnichord, you're pressing
Sure.
one button and you're doing this, right? You're
Yeah.
doing this, but like you're making, the gorillas Clint Eastwood, right?
Right. No,
Um,
that's a valid point. And I think your point about stock music too is like that's an interesting one. And I could see someone like having far less of a moral high ground if that's what the point is. I
yes.
mean, I guess ultimately there's still a human being making that stock music and all of that stuff. But the other thing that comes to mind too is like the sampling aspect of it. Like if you're just worried about like getting stuff cleared, and now of course there are all sorts of sample libraries that you can go pull from. But
Right.
I mean, let's say that I like to sample something, has some horns. I kind of know what it is I'm looking for. And I don't want to have to worry about copyright and all of that stuff. And I'm gonna chop it up to the point where it's almost unrecognizable anyway, and I'm gonna do my own thing with it. And so the creative process is still part of it. It's just one of the ingredients that you're using was created by AI. That to me, I don't know. You could start to see a lot of different places that are, I don't use the word slippery slopes, but that start to become a little bit like, well, maybe there's some gray area there. And I think that gray area is the thing that will keep building over the years. Like we'll see a lot more of that where it's, and I think we already have. I don't have my finger on the pulse of all this stuff, but I know that there've been news stories about like, was this AI generated, or even
Right.
people using sample libraries. I think people have kind of
Right.
gotten in hot water for like
Yeah.
going into Ableton's stock sample libraries and just being like, "This is my new song." There's also, but you're right though, dude. I mean, I think that if you keep the historical perspective of music, for I don't know if it's I don't know. There's always at every turning point of whether it's we're introducing amplification or electric guitar or drum machines or synthesizers and arpeggiators, or you get to the point where now people are starting to use samples. You start to get to this sort of thing where there's always someone there being like, this is where the line should be drawn. And I don't know where AI fits into that. I don't know if this is just yet another one of those or if this is something else completely. But you don't want to. I don't know. It's just so easy to be short sighted. And I'm sure I have been at different points in my life, especially when I was younger, that, if I'm hearing electronic drum machines or
Right.
whatever, I'm like, that's cheating. And it's like, I don't feel that way anymore. I think that's a ridiculous
Right.
mindset.
You
So,
start to look at the performance almost
yeah,
and like and what the artist who's actually like conveying in the moment, if they're like being authentic or not, right? And
yeah.
that's where you end up looking at it.
I kind of want to hear that come from a person. But again, it's just like you can imagine so many scenarios where you draw a line in the sand and then you hear something that makes you feel a certain way. And you're like,
Right.
I got to rethink this now.
Yeah.
So I'm reluctant to be too much of a hardliner about it because you don't know until something changes your mind about
I think it's gonna happen regardless of
it.
intent. It's
Of
gonna
what we think.
yeah,
Regardless of our conclusion here today, it's coming.
nobody's asking us for our opinion. Nobody.
No. No, and I don't think they would be overwhelmed either way if they were like, "Boy, they really shook my faith in whatever."
They're just like, maybe you should use it if you got a good reason for it.